Hey guys, what's up? I'm back and I have just finished setting up my new PC and I love it. It's absolutely perfect. And it was a long journey. It took me like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And I'm gonna share what happened. So if you know me from before, you know that I had a very cool setup back home. A huge PC with a 6900 XC as my GPU, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and everything was in place. 13 gigabytes of hard drives, and everything was perfect for me with three monitors, two monitors and a TV in front of me, 24 inch, 27 inch, and a 32 inch. So when I moved here, I said I'm not gonna buy a PC and I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sure. Oh.
But here's where the problem started. I wasn't used to working on a 14-inch laptop, and I was on it for like, I don't know, 6-7 hours a day. And in the first days, I realized, well, I cannot work at all because I can't see anything. I'm used to bigger screens, and my eyes started hurting and everything was awful. So I said, okay, I don't buy a PC, I just buy a monitor.
Really? Really?
And so I found a website, Marktplatz, if I'm pronouncing it right. And so I found a pretty good deal on a monitor. It was a 24-inch LED IPS, and I got it for like 25 bucks. So that was a very good deal for me. And so I got it, and when I wanted to get it, actually, the bus that was supposed to take me there canceled. So I arrived a little late, and I was pretty cold, to be honest. That night was very cold. And when I wanted to come back, the same problem. The bus that was supposed to take me back canceled again, and I was like freezing for 30 minutes before the bus even came. So long story short, I got it, I got home and I connected it, and it was perfect. Everything was good. So what could go wrong? Next step. Well, I started editing videos again, and I actually was editing the Hamadan video. If you haven't seen it, it's up there somewhere, maybe here, so you can see it. When I wanted to export the video or render it, and it was actually going through hell. The laptop, it was under 100% of pressure. The CPU, the RAM was maxed out, and it basically froze. You couldn't touch anything, and it took it like an hour, and it was awful. So next step, surprise, I'm getting a PC.
Shocking.
Now, I had a graphic card back home, the 6900 XT, and I loved it. So I said, okay, you can send it to me, because graphic cards here are pretty expensive, and my graphic card was like 600 euros used, and a brand new was like 999, and well, it was not worth it to buy it because it's old. It's, I think, 3 years old, something like that. So I didn't want to spend money on the GPU, and I told my parents to send me the GPU, and I actually found a PC that was being sold for without the graphic card, and I was just thrilled because this PC was great. It looked amazing, the specs were good, and I said, okay, that's a good start, and the price was very reasonable for me. So I said I'm gonna buy it, and where it was it was in Den Haag, and I was in Leiden, so another city. But I said, let's do it. The price is right. I'm gonna ride the bus no matter what. So I did that. I went to Den Haag, and well, it was cold. It was hard, but fortunately, I got to see this cool church, and it was amazing. The way there, on the way, it was amazing. It wasn't easy, but it was just perfect. So I went there, and a very nice lady actually opened the door, and we checked the PC together, and this is where worried me a little bit, because my graphic card was 35 centimeters and we measured the case and it was exactly 35 centimeters. So I was a little worried, but I said, let's take a risk. Let's buy it anyway, either way. And I took the PC and came to the bus station. But surprise, surprise, again, the bus cancelled. So I just had to walk again. Fortunately, Den Haag was a very, very beautiful city, so I wasn't bored. I started walking to the next station for another another line of buses, and I wasn't bored and I wasn't really tired, and I carried the case to the next station and I got on the bus and I came straight home. It was like an hour to get there, an hour to get back. So yeah, but when I got here, I set it up and it looked amazing. Now, 3 days later, my graphic card arrived. I was so happy, but everything was perfect. So they told me to come get it at the Amsterdam airport, and I went there, and after 2-3 hours, they finally told me, okay, you have to go to this warehouse, to this company, and get your stuff. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. And when I got there, actually they told me it's a 5-minute walk, but it was a 55-minute walk. So yeah, I was tired. And it wasn't just, like going and get it. I was at the airport at 9 a.m. I finally received my stuff at 6 p.m. 9 hours, and there was no food there was no supermarket or anything, and I was starving. I was just it was awful, and it was rainy that day, it was windy that day, and I walked actually 22 kilometers that day on foot, and it was just hell, And on the way back, I had to walk all this way back to the station because there was no bus there was nothing there. And I said, no, enough is enough, and I actually took a Bolt, which is like a Uber, but basically most of the times it's cheaper, so I did that. Yeah, and I got home and everything was perfect. I tried and finally was able to fit the GPU in my new PC, and everything was good. So what could go wrong? That's on me. It's my fault. The GPU takes actually up to 650 watt of PSU, and my PSU was 550. I knew that. I just was gambling basically. So I turned on the PC and everything worked, and I was so happy. Everything was perfect until I hit render on my next video. The PC shut down. Yeah, and it was awful. So I had a friend here. She actually was able to hook me up with a new PSU. She had a 750 watt gold, and she was giving it at a very reasonable price to me, and I said, okay, I'll take it. And she brought it over, and next problem was that it wouldn't fit in the case. So yeah, after trying all these different methods, it wouldn't fit in the case. So what was I gonna do? Marketplace again. There was actually this case that I really loved back home in Iran that I didn't buy, and I don't know why. The Cooler Master TD500, if I'm not mistaken. It's a white PC, and I really love white setups, and I said, okay, I'm gonna get that. And here was the problem. I found a very good one, a very cheap one. It was actually around how much was it? 35 euros, and I said, okay, I'm gonna get that, but it was close to Amsterdam actually, and I was not close to Amsterdam, I'm in Leiden. and actually going there and coming back wouldn't make sense because it would cost me more than the case itself to just go there and come back. So I told this to my friend, and she actually offered me a ride, and she helped me to go get the case and come back. And it was pretty generous of her, and it was pretty good because, well, we saw a lot of I saw a lot of nice places for the first time because I'm new here, and everything was so beautiful there. As you can see in the videos, it's just amazing. So I came home, and after like 4.5 hours of trying, I finally finished setting up my new PC. And here is how it looks. So you tell me, was all this worth it or not? And right now, I love my PC. I'm actually enjoying it very much, and I'm actually starting to install the interior designing softwares that I used, like AutoCAD, 3D Max, Lumion, Revit, all of that in the PC again, so that I could actually make money using the PC that I just got. So the whole setup cost me, I think, around 400, but don't forget that I got the GPU from my old PC back in Iran, but I think it was very reasonable, and I got the setup pretty at a very reasonable price. So what do you think? Was all this worth it? Was all this journey worth it or not? And well, if you have any questions, any suggestions, any issues that I may have, just comment it down below. Have a nice day.